So I've got an actual example. So we're talking a bit about people, private label, or just people doing labeling before they ship it into Amazon FBA. So I got a little story. So I went to order this adapter cable for a monitor that I have. And I get on Amazon, I order the cable, and I'm like, great, it'll be here in a couple days. And then all of a sudden, this package comes in. And of course, I order a lot of stuff. I can't even remember half the time what I order. So it comes in, and I'm like, oh, look at this. This is a big package. I'm like, I can't remember what I ordered. Open it up, and I pull out, ready? And I ordered quantity of 1. This is what they shipped me. A quantity of 1 pack of 10.
You know, this should be one of those quizzes that like seasoned private label sellers should be able to figure out what happened here.
Right? I mean, come on. So that's what I was like sitting there looking at it. Well, first of all, just so everybody knows, I've contacted the manufacturer. I will be shipping 9 back to them and keeping the one I want. But so let's talk a little bit about that, Carlos. So what do you, I mean, for what you can tell, I mean, it's kind of limited view, but what do you think went wrong in your opinion?
It looks like 2 things went wrong. They packaged 10 individual units inside of a bag. And I imagine when they sent the inbound shipment to FBA, that bag went in a box.
Yep.
So on Amazon side, they received it as a scannable unit. Now, that's bad, but to make matters worse, there's a scannable barcode on that bag.
Yep.
So somebody overworked, gets this box, opens it, there's 1 unit inside, they scanned it into inventory as a 1 sellable unit.
Yep. So if you, I mean, it's kind of hard to see, but inside, Carlos is absolutely right. There is individually packed ones in there. They all have their own individual barcode on them. And he's right. Up here, it does say 10, and it has a scannable barcode. So what could they have done, Carlos, to not have this happen? What, just not do a label? Or
I personally would have each one. I'm wondering when you open that, if each one of those sellable units has an individual bag themselves. I think it does.
Yeah, Rob, why don't you check to see if that barcode, the individual barcode, matches the one outside on the bag?
Good call.
What could also happen sometimes is they could have a listing that's selling for a package of 10. And maybe they just grabbed the wrong one and send you 10.
That's possible.
That is absolutely possible. I actually, I mean, when I was selling, we would do that where we'd sell packages of 10s of something or 20 or whatever.
Oh, you know, we can find this out right now. If you have a seller app, you can go into your seller app and you can use the barcode scanner, scan that external barcode and see what ASIN it takes us to.
I could already tell you the barcode's exactly the same. Now, so just to point this out, so each one has its own barcode and its own packaging. Okay. Now on here in the barcode, this top barcode actually matches the individual unit one, but below is a secondary barcode that says quantity 10. So that actually is a possibility. So there's 2 possibilities. Either A, they messed up by putting quantity 10, or B, they shipped me the quantity of 10 because the person sells them in a pack of 10. To be honest, I'm not sure this is an item that they would necessarily pack of 10, but who knows, right? Like, hey, what am I to say? They maybe know more than I do.
You're saying that the individual unit barcode and the pack of 10, presumably the pack of 10 barcode is on the outside of the bag.
Yep. So
it could be Amazon's pick and pack scanned the wrong barcode.
Yeah. See, I'm thinking they scan this lower barcode, which may be a quantity of 10 thing. And, or they scan this, which shows quantity of 1, because that's the same one as this individual one. And they just assume that's quantity of 1, throw it in there.
Well, the major problem here is that barcode, like that thing that's on the package. What I would have done differently is if I was shipping individual units, first of all, I was shipping individual units, I would have put it in a box and they would have been in their own bag loose with barcodes. That way you must take out individual items and scan them in the inventory. And the other thing I would have done is if I was selling a product like that and I also sold variations, like quantity variations, I would never ship them in the same order.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They would be separate shipments.
What were you saying, Henson? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just wondering, like, Carlos, have you sent like bulk quantity of 5 or 6 together. And do they give you 2 barcodes? Because to me, that one looks like there's 2 barcodes on there, right? One of them matches the individual one, and then it has a secondary barcode for a quantity of 10. So I don't know if that's normal or not, because that's really confusing, right? Because if they have 2 barcodes, it's so easy for them to mess up and scan the top one. Right?
I've never seen a barcode set up like that.
I never seen that either. So I'm wondering.
It looks like what size Avery label is that? Like that's like a weird.
It's kind of a
here. It's an odd shaped Avery. It looks like 2 labels.
Here, let's
like
take
2
a look.
Product label, right?
Looks like it's about a 3x2 label. But yet the one on the individual one's a different label.
Perforated? Does it look like it meant like it's one of those labels that could have been, because that looks like 2 perfect.
Yeah, it looks too perfect, right? No, it doesn't.
It's one entire label, or is it 2 labels?
Wait, I think there's a label over a label on this too. Let me see if I can peel it off.
Oh, this is getting good. This is like one of those
right?
scratch and win.
Now the question is, can I get it off without really messing it up so we can see what's underneath?
Suspicion it's 2 labels.
Right?
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, here it goes. Now the question is it just a junk label or is there something under there? There.
It's a $100 bill.
Oh, it might just be a duplicate. There is something under there.
If it's good, I call it.
All right, I'm trying to do it without ripping it so we can see what it says.
The suspense is killing me.
I know, sorry. I'm trying not to rip it.
It looks like a duplicate.
It looks like a duplicate.
It just gets worse.
It is. It is actually a duplicate.
Wow.
And it says 10. It has the 2 barcodes again here, so I'll put them kind of side
You know
by
that you were
side.
able to peel that off without hurting the other barcode says a lot about that bar. You did it without a Scotty peeler or anything.
That means I've been doing this too long. Let me tell you. So yeah, they're exactly the same barcode, same PID number they used. I'm double checking the number. Oh, wait. The numbers are different. So the top barcode number is actually different than the bottom one. Now,
do you have a phone? Do you have a seller app on your phone?
Oh, the PID is even different. Yes, I think I do. Here, it's been a while, but I'm sure I do.
Yeah.
Here, let's
seller app. You probably
we'll scan the top one, which is the one it came in on, right? The one
was
that
visible.
Amazon scanned. Here, let me pull it up.
I can't believe I'm having this much fun talking about troubleshooting a label.
Well, just to mention again, anybody who's watching, I have contacted the manufacturer and told them what happened.
So you're not going arbitrage.
No, I'm not going to compete against them. So yeah, they have been contacted. I'm waiting for them to contact me back with a label. Where's the scan?
While you're doing that, Henson, what do you think about the shipping? Because what he ordered as a single unit should have only carried like X amount of credits of shipping towards that order. I imagine the weight had to be totally different.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if it's just a mistake. They might have just scanned the wrong barcode and grabbed a 10-pack and then thought it was a 1-pack. I don't know how the fulfillment centers, how do they separate their inventory, right?
So I covered up the barcode that was underneath. So we're going with the primary. It did bring me to the site and to the cable I bought.
The 1-pack or the 10?
That's what I'm looking for. Well, it's got to be a 1-pack. It's $7 for this cable.
Yeah, it's a 1-pack.
It's definitely a 1-pack. Now, I don't know which one. Maybe if I try to cover up the other.
Try scanning the other barcode and see what happens.
Yeah. I'm going to try to only cover up and only see if I can scan the one barcode. Okay, so the top barcode took me right back to where I was. Let's see if we can scan the bottom barcode. Fun with barcodes. All right, let's see if this 10 barcode takes me to a pack of 10 somewhere.
Hey, if we figure this out, you should send this video to the manufacturer. Just be like, hey, we're going to charge you for consulting,
right?
Troubleshooting
Exactly.
your issues.
So it looks like the 10 barcode, it's trying to scan it, but it's not finding it.
Is there even a 10-pack variation on that listing? How about that?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Here, let me rescan the top. Wait, you know what? Let's try the barcode that was underneath originally, that before they relabeled it. I think the problem that we're running into is that quantity 10 might just be 10 like internal thing for them or something. Okay, so okay. Oh, I see. Wait, here we go. There is a difference. So the barcode, or the barcode that was originally on there before they labeled over it, went to a 10-foot version of this cable.
10 foot.
10 foot. Now the one that was over the top is the correct 3-foot version that I bought. Now the question is, what did I do with my original cable?
You know, the shape of that label is irking me.
Is it?
I'm remembering where I've seen the shape of that label before. That's a common shape label that Amazon uses in returns.
Oh, interesting. I mean, this is definitely a 3-foot cable. I can tell you right now, unless there's a mix. I'll look in there real quick. Maybe there's mix of 10-foot. I doubt it, but.
So what are you suspecting, Carlos? It could be an Amazon error. Maybe it was an old return that came in, and then they put it back into the relabel and then put on the wrong label, maybe?
Yeah, I'm thinking now either an Amazon error or an Amazon return, because this person probably sells a bunch of cables, and Amazon returned it, and they're repurposing that exterior bag and just left a label on that Amazon, I don't know, like hired somebody and the person's like, hey, ship this stuff back out that we got on a return. And the person left the barcode on there and sent it back out.
Yeah.
But because the exterior label scanned to a 1-pack.
Yeah, correct. Well, they both did, and one just went to a 3-footer, one went to a 10-footer, and then just for grins, I can scan
the one on the outside was a 3-footer.
Yes, the original outside one was a 3-footer, which sounds like maybe it came in and it scanned for the 10-footer, and they noticed that they were 3-footers, so they put a new label over it, which was the correct one for 3-footers. But again, there's another barcode underneath that says quantity of 10. Now, what we're trying to bring up, just for anybody watching, is there's a couple of things here. A, you should double check with a barcode scanner that your barcode scanned correctly and they match what's in your inventory and you're sending it the right way. Carlos was mentioning, and I would have done the same thing. I would have sent each one of these in a box individually instead of packaging them as 10 just to be safe. Now, there's lots of ifs here, right? We don't know if Amazon actually caused this by maybe being a return. We don't know if the manufacturer sent it this way, hoping that Amazon would tear the bag apart, which they wouldn't do. So, or maybe at some point they did sell 10 and they don't anymore. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah. I agree. One thing for sure though, that me erring on the side of paranoia, I never want in the shipping process, Amazon to have to think at all.
Yes.
Not questioning their intelligence, but just they're overworked. There's a ton of volume going through there. I don't want them to have to think. So I would take the extra measure to where there would never be a multi-pack, different multi-packs in the same box. Yeah. And the other thing is it looks like there's a lot of individual units with barcodes inside. Yeah. And they probably could not be scanned from the outside. Correct. But me personally, if I'm shipping something and it's in a bag, there's only one scannable barcode. So I would have gotten a blank Avery label and I would have blanked out any other scannable barcodes anywhere on the product or in the package except the one that I want scanned.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob, is this the company that you don't have to name the company name, but is it a pretty big company or is it kind of like a...
Are you kidding me? I can name them. I'm helping them out.
Yeah.
Mono Price. They're based out of LA.
Okay, they're a pretty big company. So they
are a big company.
They should know what they're doing. I was thinking maybe they're a brand new seller and they have their own internal system. They accidentally put that code on the outside.
Yeah, or was it the brand themselves that sold it, or was there like a third-party merchant?
No. It's under the brand. It's their own listing. There was no other people on there. Here, I'll throw another twist in this and tell me what you guys think.
Oh, this is getting good.
Ready? So what if they had their factory ship it right to FBA and the factory packaged it into a package of 10 and maybe they didn't inspect it and it got through?
You might have a point there, because to someone that doesn't understand FBA and how they process things, the way that's packaged seems like a logical thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And plus that second code doesn't scan either, which could mean that code could be internal to the company and not Amazon, right?
Yeah. The second barcode doesn't have any numbers below it other than the word Q10, which means it could just be an internal that there's a quantity of 10. But there's absolutely, I mean, I've ordered from enough factories in China for years and years. There's plenty of times that they'll consolidate it and then I'll have to go back and repackage ourselves, or hopefully you had an inspection done. For us personally, when I was doing the iPhone business, it didn't matter, right? Because we could just take it out and repackage it. But if it went to FBA, we'd be hosed, right? Like we'd be sending 10 screens to a person when they ordered one, and that'd lose a lot of money. Now, I mean, cables can be cheap, but they can also be expensive. So, I mean,
They could be cheap. They could be cheap, but what you pay in PPC and everything, they don't have huge margins. So you can't afford to just give away 10.
Absolutely. They're selling these for, I think it's $7.95 for the 3-footer. I ordered one. I'm sitting
on. Might be paying $250 a click.
Exactly. So. Yeah. I'm familiar with cables. I've done at least iPhone cables, not computer, but they're at least a couple dollars of cables. Easy. So, I mean, you know
I don't, just personal choice. I mean, I know there's plenty of ways to safely do this. I don't ship directly to FBA.
Yeah. But that also has more overhead though involved, right? Because you got to have a space depending how big of the item are.
It does, but my business model, I've moved to it used to be 100% FBA except for the insects, and then obviously the live insects, they're not doing that. But I've moved to a almost 50-50, but it's 55% FBA, 45% merchant fulfilled prime. So I've always been set up for that from the beginning, kind of from the eBay days.
Yeah.
So for me, if you're set up for it, it's almost it's like a solid move.
Yeah.
It's a money saver. So now it's sweet. So it's like, I mean, we're getting off subject, but say 45% is merchant fulfilled prime, and the other 55%, they're pretty much waiving my storage fees because the products move so good. That's
a big subject right now too.
Yeah.
So basically you have one seller account, but then 2 different SKUs on the same listing, right? So so it could either go FBA, and then when you start running low, then you start sending more inventory into FBA, and then whatever.
That's exactly what I'm doing under FBA. 2 accounts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So my FBA listing will not come anywhere near playing with the box. So it doesn't look like I'm going fishing with with 2 lines in the water.
Yeah.
But if you never know what happens with merchant fulfilled prime, because I've never had any issues, but they're very strict on their metrics.
Exactly.
So if something was to happen, I don't want to be 3 weeks out of stock while I get in some FBA.
Yeah. No, that's exactly true. All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up because I know we can just keep talking, but hey, Carlos, thanks for being on. And again, everybody, we're not exactly sure. It could have been the manufacturer. It could be could have been the factory that's happened. Could have even been Amazon. The point being though, is double check, right? Like have an inspection at your factory, have them double check that. Check if you're having it shipped to your warehouse and you're relabeling stuff, have somebody double check before they ship it out, and then also physically look at the labels that are on there, right? I mean, why have multiple labels like that? Or why even package it in a box unless you're going to sell them in a pack of 10? There's no reason. You just put them loose in there. If each individual one, like this example right here, is already labeled, then, make it the easier you make it for Amazon, the more sales you're going to get and the less headaches. Again, I've already contacted manufacturer, and maybe I'll follow up or something when I hear back from them. We'll see what they say. I mean, there was times in the past that sometimes I just let people keep it because it costs me more on a shipping label than the actual cost of the product. And if they do that, then I'll be retail arbitraging. No,
I'm sorry, really curious. Did you contact them directly, the manufacturer, off Amazon, or did you do it through the buyer seller message board?
No. So what I did is I went mono price and on Google, found them down in LA. The sort of way their font matched exactly on their website. So I just went into contact us, took a picture showing the whole thing together, and told them, hey, it showed up with 10 and I need to send you 9, send me a label, and see where it goes from there. Right. So just be aware.
Follow up. Let me know what happened.
There'll be a follow-up. All right, Carlos. Thanks so much.
Hey, Henson, Rob, see you guys. You guys are awesome.
Take care, man.
Thanks, Carlos. Take care.
All right, bye.
See you guys.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and for more information, please visit FeedbackWhiz.com.